Hi everybody, it is Julie. Welcome back to Pages and Pens. Today I'm here with an exciting announcement video for you. Let's jump right into it. Today I am here to announce the FantasyAthon. A long time ago, I want to say over a year ago now. It's been a long time. Maddie from the Book Pusher came to Chelsea and myself back when we were the only ones still doing Contemporary-a-thon and said, hey, I have an idea for like the opposite version of this readathon. Are you guys cool with that? And would you like to participate? And Chelsea said, that's totally fine with me, but I don't really do fantasy. And I said, I would love to do something like that and do both sides of the spectrum. Maddie wasn't ready to jump right in right away. She's had a lot of life changes, lots of moves. Girl is doing things. So she's finally ready to do a FantasyAthon. She has finally had time to prioritize the readathon and still asked me to co-host it along with Allie from Allie Corvier. And we are going to present to you the FantasyAthon, which I personally am really stoked for because I feel like I have definitely started to venture a lot more towards the contemporary because fantasy just takes longer. I've been feeling like these really large TBRs and giant wrap-ups, and I just have been neglecting my fantasy, so I personally am really excited about this particular readathon. It's super chill. It is going to be longer because fantasies tend to be a little bit harder to get into and a little bit longer to read. So we are going to be running FantasyAthon from April 5th to the 15th, which gives you 2 full weekends to read, which I love. I will have both of them linked down below, as well as the FantasyAthon Twitter account. You guys can stay up to date on everything that's going on with the readathon. I've already established a TBR and then changed that TBR and then established another TBR and changed that TBR. It's a thing. We do have some challenges for you, but just know that we encourage doubling up, reading some of these challenges, not all of these challenges, just reading fantasy along with us. These are just guidelines to potentially help you pick out a TBR. At least that's how I'm treating them. So the challenges are as follows. I do have my spreadsheet in front of me because I don't know all of them off the top of my head. The first one is to read a diverse fantasy novel. Not necessarily difficult to do now that there are a ton more own voices, diverse fantasy writers. Sabaa Tahir and Tahereh Mafi both have very diverse fantasy books. Tahereh Mafi's are more middle grade if you go into her Furthermore series. Is that what it is? I think, right? And then Sabaa Tahir has her Rebirth the Gage, Torch Against the Nights, Ember in the Ashes series. What is that one called? I don't even know. Not sure. Girls of Paper and Fire is diverse. Mirage is diverse. Shadow of the Fox, which I loved, is diverse. There's plenty of diverse fantasy out there. Children of Blood and Bone, a multitude of different options. If you want a recommendation and you're not sure about one, definitely leave a comment down below and I will do my best to help you there. The next one is going to be to read a debut fantasy novel or a backlist title. So this is 2 very, very different spectrums. But if you don't have a debut author that you're really trying to get into, just go for a backlist title, like one that's been out for a while that you just haven't had a chance to get to. Personally, I think I'm going to be trying to get to Before She Ignites by Jodi Meadows, and that is about I think a POC main character with anxiety, and it's a backlist Owlcrate title that I just haven't gotten to in forever, but I really want to. The next one is to either start a new series or continue on in a series. Again, these are just general TBR guidelines. The 4th challenge is going to be to read a hype train fantasy. So one that a ton of people are talking about. Have you not read Harry Potter yet? Or Nevernight, any of Leigh Bardugo, or any of V.E. Schwab, or Sabaa Tahir, or any of those super hyped fantasies. If you haven't read Holly Black yet, or The Cruel Prince, like, get on that train immediately. Anything by Laini Taylor, pretty much, whether it's Daughter of Smoke and Bone, or Muse of Nightmares, Strange the Dreamer. Again, if you have questions about any of these, or you want suggestions for any of these, comment down below. The 5th challenge is to finish a fantasy that you started, but then put down, not necessarily because you DNF'd it, but just you weren't in the right headspace, or you just didn't have time for it. I have a bunch like that, honestly. I started King of Scars kind of like that. I started The Astonishing Color of After kind of like that. I've tried to pick up the 2nd trilogy of the Mistborn series and put it back down. There's a whole bunch that I've kind of picked up and then just gone, not the right time for you right now, and put it aside. Or I did a try a chapter on and then just put it aside. So go ahead and pick that one back up again and finish it off. This is also a really great way for you to prep for the readathon and start one, and then have it kind of already in the works for when the readathon starts, and then you can pick it back up when the readathon starts, and then have a really successful first book finished, which I love doing. It's a great self-esteem booster just to start off the readathon, so don't be afraid to do that either. Challenge number 6 is to immerse yourself. Challenge number 6 is to read a fantasy in a genre and or format that you don't typically read. Middle grade, adult, YA, any kind of like age range that you don't necessarily read from normally, and or any format you don't necessarily read from normally. Counts for this one. Go forth and read greatness. And the last one is to immerse yourself in the story and do a little bit of pampering while you're reading. This could be setting up a candle and a cup of tea. It could be making an adult beverage and chilling with your book. It could be cuddling with a blanket on the sofa in front of a fire. It could be doing a face mask. It could be anything that makes you feel good while you're immersing yourself into a fantasy world. It could be locking yourself away from your kids, letting your partner take care of the kids for a little bit while you just let yourself get lost in the world. If you love being in the kitchen and cooking something, cook something really special for yourself that's kind of inspired by the book. Sit down with a book and a nice glass of wine, whatever it is, and just treat yourself. Lose yourself in the book for a while. That is what we want for you. That is what is so beautiful and amazing about fantasy, is that it's a method of transporting you somewhere else. So go ahead and really rest, really relax, and let yourself go while you're reading. That is all we want for you guys, is to have a really, really wonderful reading week / 10 days. And yeah, that's all the challenges. Again, these are guidelines to help you pick out TBRs. Obviously, some of these are super, super open-ended and also very varying. There's a lot of options here, guys. I personally have not finalized a TBR. There are so many ways that I could go with this, and I feel like it's another one where you're just gonna have to stick around for the reading vlog, because things are probably going to change as I read. I will also say, because this is a longer readathon, I am not doing daily vlogs. I couldn't do that for that many days in a row, but I will be doing a reading vlog for the entirety, and I might do one in the middle since it is a longer reading time span, but doing one from the 5th to the 15th every single day is just not possible for me. We encourage you to daily vlog, week-long vlog, wrap-ups, TBRs. I can't wait to see all of them. So excited. Use the hashtag FantasyAthon. Be sure to check out Maddie and Allie down below, as well as the Twitter account. So stoked for this. Let me know if you're going to be participating. I know that fantasy is something that a lot of people here on BookTube already read naturally, but I personally have really gotten away from it, and I'm really excited to dive back in. And if fantasy is something that you've been a little bit nervous about and you're looking forward to trying to like dip your toes into different aspects of fantasy, this is a great time and a great way to do it. Comment down below if you want help with any of these prompts, if you want suggestions on fantasies that I love. If you have any suggestions for things that you know are on my shelves that you really want to see me read, definitely comment down below and let me know that as well. So excited that Maddie has decided to move forward with this readathon and asked me to join her. Really excited to do a project with Allie. I've been watching her videos for a really long time. I love the creativity. I've gotten many a fairy recommendation from her, and I'm really excited to work with her a little bit more closely. That is it for this video. If you liked this video, go ahead and give me a big thumbs up, click subscribe, and I will see all of you in my next video. Bye, guys.